The episode starts off with Homelander finally finding his son after he received the note from Victoria Newman in the previous episode. Homelander has a heartfelt conversation with his son about the fact that his mom's death wasn't his fault and soups can cause collateral damage to those close to them because of their powers. The boys are still dealing with a schism, and as a result, there are different, contradictory missions at play. Butcher and Huey are still a go on transporting Soldier Boy to Vought Tower to find and kill Homelander and Black Noir. But Mother's Milk, Frenchie, Kimiko, a newly retired Annie, and a newly escaped Maeve are more focused on Soldier Boy, knowing that his standard explosion trick could wipe out thousands this time. The divide becomes further complicated when Butcher knocks Huey out before he can take more V-24, leaving him to hitch a ride with Annie. In the car, Annie tells Huey the news about the deadliness of V-24, making him realize that Butcher actually saved his life. When they return to home base, he makes the case that they should save Butcher's, too. But when the team arrives at Butcher's hideout, their plan falls apart. Maeve switches back to Butcher's side and throws out Frenchie's one dose of Novichok, and the gang is briefly locked in a safe. Of course, none of Butcher's plan will work unless Soldier Boy sticks to his word. That's the other biggest question of the episode: how will Soldier Boy's knowledge of his relation to Homelander affect the mission? Butcher is disconcerted as he trades stories with Soldier Boy about their cold, abusive fathers. Soldier Boy always thought he'd be a better dad than his own. Homelander is genuine in his desire for a real family, an option that didn't seem available until now. But it's also a shrewd tactical move to win over Becca's son Ryan again and use him to appeal to Soldier Boy, and he can do that now because he got Ryan's location from Newman. The final blowout of the season happens, as expected, at Vought. Soldier Boy ends up sticking to the plan, attacking Homelander despite his impassioned pitch for a two strongest people in the world alliance. Going directly against Soldier Boy's earlier musing about breaking the cycle. And it connects back to Butcher, whose flashbacks in the last episode showed exactly how violence can become normalized to the point that hurting someone becomes automatic. But Ryan blasts Soldier Boy before he can finish the job, and then Soldier Boy hits Ryan back. It's the final, personal element needed to wake Butcher up to the reality of what he's compromising by partnering with Soldier Boy. So we get a brief rematch of the Homelander Soldier Boy Butcher fight from Herogasm, except this time, Butcher and Homelander are, oddly enough, on the same side. Maeve gets in on it, too, though she's still focused on the initial mission, and in a gnarly shot late in their brawl, Homelander takes out her eye. The rest of the boys arrive just in time to save Butcher and immediately get to work. Frenchie throws together a last-minute Russian nerve agent, while Kimiko happily gets back to brutally killing whoever comes anywhere near him. Huey evacuates the building, but his biggest win is blasting the studio lights to boost Annie's power enough to incapacitate Soldier Boy. Huey's ego trip lasted far too long this season, and his revelation in this episode is predictable. Strength doesn't always come from superpowers, and sometimes it's heroic just to be there and support the people you love, but it's still a triumphant moment. In the end, administers the Novichok to Soldier Boy, and Maeve makes the ultimate sacrifice by flying him out the window during his final blackout explosion. Except, of course, Maeve doesn't die. Like Kimiko, the blast wasn't enough to kill her, but it was enough to take away her powers. That frees her to hit the road with Elena, the happy ending the two of them deserve after years of heartbreak. If this is the end of time on the show, it'll be sad to lose one of the ensemble's more complicated, morally conflicted characters, especially since she had so little screen time in recent episodes. But at least she's going out with some mercy after a dark season. Black Noir is actually the only character who doesn't make it out of the instant white-hot wild alive. The man's earnest desire to confront his demons leads to his entrails spilling on the floor of Vought when Homelander learns Noir knew the truth about his parentage. R.I.P., I guess. Soldier Boy, knocked out but still not dead, is returned to the CIA's custody, put away in suspended animation like a toy the writers can take out again whenever they get bored. Has a touching moment with his daughter Janine, finally deciding not to hide the truth about Soups anymore. Cassandra turns on her husband/pawn the Deep to promote her own juicy autobiography. Annie is officially inducted into the boys. Dakota Bob announces Newman as his Veep pick. Most people will remember the final image as an eerie smile crosses Ryan's face upon seeing his father venerated for killing a protester in broad daylight. But the biggest development is the reveal that, as promised, V-24 is killing Butcher. In fact, he only has a year to live, 18 months at most. It leaves Butcher in an interesting place at the end of the season. He knows he's going to die, but he's still dedicated to fighting Vought. What's unclear is whether Butcher still plans to accomplish his vision by any means necessary or if he's reconsidering his way of thinking after this latest loss. Because it is a loss, even if everyone managed to subdue Soldier Boy before he could kill thousands. There's still the collateral damage of all his previous blow-ups, deaths that wouldn't have happened if Butcher hadn't brought Soldier Boy back to begin with. The boys may be back together, but they're still in a worse spot than they were at the beginning of the season, with fewer allies and more. And that was it. Subscribe and hit the like button if you want to see more awesome series review content.